not talking about doing dicks or dressing in drag for nothing. I'm talking about y'all niggas. So like when I'm telling these stories, nigga, when I'm telling them, when I'm talking about what I'm talking about, I'm saying from the perspective, like this is about black men. I ain't talking about a woman not one time in these stories, okay? I'm talking about black men. Y'all men who was just as lost as me, ho. Okay? But, here's the real tea though. Here's the real tea though, because like I said, everything comes in versions. You know, motherfuckers looking for the highest expression of themselves. You know, getting better and better every day. You know, doing more and more every day. They appear one way on the surface level. You know, but in reality, it's so much more to that guy. You know, in reality, it's so much more to be lived. So much life, so much art, so much self-expression, so much, you know, like this nigga come in versions. And it's about really him giving himself permission, you know, to express each and every version of himself, to give himself the opportunity to grow. Give himself the opportunity to understand why he feel the way he feel. Understand why he desire what he desire, want what he want. You know, all of that shit. It's not you find a lot of these men broken and toxic. You know, in a sense of the nature, because they don't give themselves permission. Society don't give themselves permission to investigate who they are. So they stay stagnant. They stay where they are. So the source is not giving a fuck about none of this shit. The source is about expressing yourself in its truest form, in its truest time, the way that you want to, when you want to, unapologetically. All men the one that can't express themselves. Nigga can't eat hot dog, can't eat a popsicle, can't be anything outside of a real nigga. Without y'all judging, can't cry. I just don't give a fuck about, you know, being judged or ridiculed or, you know, I had gotten to the point where, you know, I had to let all that shit go. You know, it's in order to come into the fullness of who I was, in order to be the highest version of myself, in order to express the highest place of myself, I had to stop giving a fuck about what you bitches thought. Okay? And I don't. So when I'm talking about sucking dicks and dressing in drag, you know, this was a person, you know, that was willing to do anything. This was a person that was willing to go anywhere. This is a person that was willing to do the most in order to find themselves and find their true nature and express themselves beyond what society, you know, depicts them. Okay? And I ran into a lot of you motherfuckers while I was doing that, is what I'm saying. This is just the exhibition of that. How about that? It's an exhibition of that, you know. Like me telling the stories the way that I tell them. Me talking about things that I'm talking about is an exhibition of black male creativity, a black male that was willing to do whatever it took to find his highest version of himself, do whatever it takes to achieve the dreams, the manifestations, the self-expression. It was a point, you know, in my life where I didn't think that I could do shit. Like how that's completely opposite from the person that I am today, that is fully aware of all the mechanisms, all the things that I attach to my personality, all of the abilities that I really have, all of the things that I'm willing to be capable of on this earth. I used to walk this earth displaying all of the incapacities of not knowing what I was or who I was, and not being able to connect fully with the identity, you know, within, purpose-driven, if I'm making any sense. From a place of solidarity, from a place of self-assurity, from a place of self-matter-of-factness. That wasn't something that, you know, I was able to, you know, accomplish. So, you know, when you're not able to really put your finger on that type of shit, you really just don't give a fuck, okay? And it's really you just saying you don't give a fuck about the pain, okay? You know, you don't give a fuck about nothing, you know. So like me making the decisions that I made, me, you know, being able to get on here and express and portray and tell these stories the way that I tell them, it's just another level of me not giving a fuck, okay? When you just don't know, you just don't know. You know, when you haven't been given the tools, you just haven't been given the tools. You know, what a motherfucker supposed to do? You know, a lot of these people out here, you know, trying their damnedest. You know, can't really put their finger on who they are. You know, don't have no examples. Don't have nobody to talk to. Don't have nobody to put themselves in reference to. Don't have anybody to connect with on that level. Not like women. You know, women, you have, you know, empowerment groups and, you know, entrepreneurship meetings and, you know, sisterhood, and those things just don't exist for men. Like, we pit ourselves against each other. We ostracize each other for, you know, either the lack of violence that we're willing to portray, which violence equates manhood in a lot of senses of the nature. I'm not here to act like I got all the motherfucking answers. This is an exhibition of a motherfucker, a black man, okay, who gave himself the permission to be beyond the principles and the expectations of societal norms, okay? Investigated all of it. You know, spiritually, physically, sexually, creatively, expression-wise. You know, I'm touching milestones. I'm touching all of it. Unapologetically. I don't give a fuck. It's cathartic. You know, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. You know, I want to raise awareness, you know, to as black men, you know, to look inside of yourself and find the catharticism in your own life. Find ways to heal. Find ways what it is that you need to do, you know, and it's going to be terrifying. But, you know, you got to give a fuck more. You got to stop giving a fuck so much to the point where you are stricken by the fear. Okay? Because it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going no motherfucking where. So, like, don't turn around and be 50 years old, you know, stricken by fear. Stricken by, you know, the inability to not be. Stricken by the inability to not show up in your own motherfucking life. And you wondering why, you know, there's jealousy among brothers and jealousy among cousins and, you know, all kind of shit. All these women taking care of your ass because of your inability to show up and be a man, be yourself. Be anything. You know, my life is an exhibition of that. You know, I look at these cameras, I look at these social functions and technology, and I look at it as that. You know, this is a creative tool in order for me to express, hell, even exploit. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I'll exploit it because when it all boils down to it, at core, I defined myself before I even got on this motherfucking camera, before y'all to criticize and pick apart, bitch. If you can, okay? Yeah, girl. So, this gonna be fun. Nice meeting you. Thank you for following me. Thank you for, like, being on this motherfucking journey. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I'm finna let y'all know, you know, what it is, what's going on, you know, all this and all that, girl. So, yeah, welcome, bitch.
I got